Hi everyone, my name is Rhonda Robson and thank you so much for joining me again on my Fluid Art channel. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. And today's video is kind of a cool one. So I started doing one thing, ended up swiping it, kept the swipe, and then did a Dutch pour. So you're going to see the swipe and the Dutch pour on top of it. Now I am going to add patchworks to this, but I wanted to show you this first one, and then I'll go ahead and link the video for the next one where I've added the patchwork on top of this. So I kind of want to give you stages of how I've created this particular painting. So here is the results so far, and as you can see, this is the swipe up here. You can kind of see that, and then I ended up doing a Dutch pour through here, and then I kind of spotted it throughout. It's actually for my bedroom. I have a green, black, and gold, and off-white look in my bedroom, so I wanted to do that. Now this is going to probably go up and down like this. I'm not sure which direction, whether it'll be this way or this way, but what I'd like to do now on top of this is I'm going to take these same colors and then I'm going to do a patch just kind of here in the middle over top of this. So anyway, that's my hope, and hopefully I don't ruin this, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you a video of just this and pictures of just this, because if I do ruin it then with the patchwork, then I at least have this one. So all right, well, let's get you down and let me show you how I did this one. Thanks for joining me today, and again, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for joining me. Let's get you down on this canvas. Bye for now. Bye. Hi everyone. All right, so today's projects, I actually have two projects that I'm going to be doing. I'm prepping for both of them, and they're for my bedroom. And so these are the two that I'm going to be doing. One of them is I will be doing a Dutch pour on a 24 by 36 canvas, and then I'm going to be doing a patchwork after it dries. So that's my plan on that. And then this one right here is going to be a 24 by 30, also in my bedroom. And I'm going to be doing like a flip cup type over here. And then I'll have a dark line in here, probably like a black or Mars black, something like that, space gray, something like that in here in this line. And then I'm going to be swiping this way as well. So I'm going to be working on these two projects, and I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about how do you determine the colors to use when you want to make something for maybe a friend, maybe for yourself or your area in your home, maybe a living room, or a commission piece, and if you want to start doing commission pieces. So first you need to figure out what it is that you want. What's the style? So the styles that I want for my living room, or the living room, I was talking about my bedroom. All right, the style I want for my bedroom is I want multiple different types of texture in there. So that's why I'm doing a Dutch pour, and then a patchwork, and then a swipe, and probably a flip cup, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. I might do a patchwork through here as well. So my bedroom has green and off-white, gold kind of color, and then kind of black and kind of gray. So these are kind of a couple of the pillows that I have on my bed. So I work with bringing my pieces that I want to complement. I actually bring them down to my studio so that way I can really match the colors or complement the colors here, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have, especially with greens and blues, there can be multiple reds. There could be so many different variations of all of these colors, and you want to make sure that you either complement them or you're trying to match as close as you possibly can. So I bring these down here. And so what I'm going to be doing is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create, this is an off-white back here, so I'm going to create this off-white, probably a little bit more light than this is. And that's what I'm going to use as my background for most of this, and then add in the color. I either start pulling paints off my shelves, or I go, well, I don't have quite that, so I mix them, or I go have to buy. So today I have a number of paints. Whoops, I almost spilled paint on my pillows. I'm going to put this off to the side so I don't do that again. That was some leftover paint from my pour yesterday, so I was going to utilize some of that. But anyway, so what I do is I bring down my pieces and I start from there. So this is going to be my complement. This and gold are going to be my primary colors, and then like a black type of a thing. So I kind of looked and I found a phthalo green that goes with it, really close. It's almost too dark, so it'll be cool with some little bit of white in there and some off-white stuff. So I have that. I also have my space gray that kind of complements with my black that's in here. That goes well. Then I have this Arteza Pearl deep brown. Goes really well as a complement to the off-white that I'm going to be utilizing. Gold is one of my colors that I want to use because it goes well also with those colors. And then the pearl white is very similar to the off-white that's in here too. So those are going to be my colors throughout. And then I'm going to create that off-white, that color with the white. Oops, that's got paint on it. I'm going to be careful of that. I'm going to be creating my background with white paint, titanium white, and then I am going to utilize this bronze color here. It's actually, I think it's copper. Yep, copper, as a way to get the off-white color that I'm looking for. And it's just going to be really, really, really light off-white. So anyway, those are the colors that I'm going to use. And that's how I go about creating the colors that I want. And my pops of color will be the gold and the green and a little bit of this bronze color here too as well. All right, well, let's get me going on mixing these paints. So thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. I'm gonna mix my paints. Bye. Okay, so my first one that I'm gonna be doing is for my master bedroom is this Dutch pour. I've got to do that. That has to dry before I can do any of this patchwork here. So this is a 24 by 36. I need to come up with 30 fluid ounces of paint to completely go over top of the canvas. So I'm going to be making approximately 32 ounces of this white, off-white kind of color. Actually, I'm probably going to make more like, let's see. I'll probably make like 40 ounces because I'll need it over here as well. But this is really, no I'm not. Because this will be a different texture. I am going to make, I know I keep changing my mind, I'm going to be making about 32 ounces of the off-white for my paint behind, for my Dutch pour. It's going to be water and paint only. That's all I'm going to put in there. And then I'll be utilizing my colors to do the Dutch pour. And I'm really going to come in from the outside out. That's kind of how, I don't want like a line through it. Like some Dutch pours, you know, you have a lot of negative space. I will still have negative space, but I want it to come from the center out and kind of feather out that way. And this is going to be a, I think I'm going to do it lengthwise like this, but I might do it this way. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm not going to create the paint for this just yet because these will be thicker paints that will go with the patches here. So we're going to do this one first. So I use a 3:2 ratio on my paint to water. And so I do use a scale. It just helps me kind of think through. So if I'm going to be doing 14 ounces of water to 21 ounces of paint, I want to make sure that I, when you use water and paint, You don't want to put all the water and all the paint together and start mixing. It actually it gets really lumpy. So you want to add the water a little bit at a time. So what I'm going to do is, since I need 14 ounces of water, I'm going to go ahead and do 7 ounces of water. And then I'll put in my paint and we'll go from there. So anyway, we'll figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and go. So I turn this on and I set my unit to ounces. So I have that. Let me pull this back for you so you can see. So I can zoom in on that if I want to. So it's already on ounces. Now, if I were to turn this on and then I put my cup or whatever I'm going to be utilizing, it adds weight. So you always have to zero it out. So I zeroed it out. And then let's go ahead and put in about 7 ounces of water. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put 7 ounces in. No, that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to pour this back just a tad. Okay, so 6.88. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I want to get it close. So there's 7.05 ounces. And then because I want 21 ounces of paint in there, I'm going to go ahead and do my full 21 ounces of paint and get that stirring in there. So let's zero this out. And this is pretty much 8 ounces in here. Well, it says 10, so. Yeah. Okay, there's one. And this will be, just over 21. So I have 21 ounces of paint to 7 ounces of water so far. And I'm going to go ahead and stir this and get this stirring up. And then we will add in the other 7 ounces when I've stirred this up. So just start slowly working the paint into the water. And it will be a little lumpy initially. And then you just need to continue to stir it until all the lumps are out. And I start with the water first and then I add the paint, because when I add paint first and then the water, the paint kind of sticks to the surface or the bottom of the whatever cup I'm using, and then it's harder to get it out. So, all right, so right now it's pretty thick, as you can see. So we need to add water to it. But it's nice and smooth. I don't see any clumps. And that's the problem when you add too much water initially. Okay, so I have my stick in here, so I gotta take my stick out. So let's go ahead, zero that out. And remember, we need about 7 ounces of water. So I'm gonna pour some of my distilled water. What I do with my old Floetrol bottles is I use them for different things. So I've got some filtered water, I shouldn't say distilled, but filtered water in here. All right, so we need 7. So we're gonna just start by going like maybe 2. All right, 2.4. Stir that in. And you want to do this a little bit at a time or it'll get clumpy again. Just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Okay, so it's 2.4. Let's get it maybe up to 5. There we go, a little over 5. Remember, we just need 7 to get the 3 parts paint to 2 parts water. Pour a Dutch pour. Okay, it's getting thinner, see? Now let's go ahead and add in. All right, that's 6.2. And then let's add in a little bit for the 7 to get to the 7. All right, just a little over 7. Pull that off to the side. Let me stir this and let's see what consistency we have. And I use the scale as a guide, but I use the consistency from my stick as a better guide. It needs to, for a Dutch pour, to drop straight in and not make a mound on the surface. And right now it still is making a mound on the surface, so I might need a little bit more water. Yep, I need a little bit more water. So let's put that back up there. And we got, so we have 17 or 14. Let's go ahead and add just a touch bit more water. Let's get it to 8. There, that's perfect. Let's just do that. And so then again, I have to use the consistency from my, the consistency when I have it off the stick and how I feel it with the stick going through the paint, because each paint is different, right? This is Liquitex and this is Master's Touch. So they may be a little bit the same in the consistency, but they also are different. So you may need more water or less water depending on the actual paint. So we will be adding some of this to this white to make it, so I might need some more water in a little bit. This is perfect consistency, so I'll bring it to you and show it to you so that you can see. Now, all right, so see how the paint just drops right in? I'm gonna move my arm because you can't see with my arm in there. Just see how the paint goes right into the paint without making a mound on the top of the surface. That's the consistency you want for a Dutch pour. So this is unlevel, so I have put a stick under this corner over here and it is perfectly level now. So that actually works nice. So I'm gonna remember that as I am also doing as it is drying. Sorry, I inhaled a little bit of my water I was drinking. Okay. Make sure it's on a stick over here. There we go. All right, we ready? Hopefully this isn't too pink when it dries. Kind of looks pink in the light right now. Okay, so I'm going to make a couple puddles with this Amsterdam white. This is what really makes a lot of great cells. And it's got air bubbles in it, so don't worry, it's all right. And then this is the Arteza Pearl. Brown, deep brown. Let's go ahead and add in a little bit of the green. space gray. Yeah, I like the space gray better than black for this one. Pearl white. A bit more of the all right, let's do this. I'm not going to torch it yet. I'll torch it later. Well, I can tell you I don't really like the green in this at all, really. So I'm gonna swipe it and then redo some of this with more of the gray and the gold. Yeah, okay. Now it's got the green, but it's a lot lighter green in there. So let's just play with it. So you know how I said I was going to do puddles? I don't think I'm going to now. I'm just going to do a line here. No brown this time. Oops. Pearl white. And gold. No green. All right, well, let's see what this does. Okay, so I need to learn to stop. Because that looked really cool, and then I screwed it up.
What I noticed is when I was blowing on top of the white, which is that Amsterdam white, it was making some beautiful cells. And so that's what I meant by I kept messing it up, because I just kept pushing the paint over top of it instead of pushing the Amsterdam paint over the other paint. Anyway, so I'm discovering this as I'm going, and I'm starting to like it more and more, so I'm just kind of fiddling with it. I don't know if you do this very often, but I love to fiddle, and I just want to continue to make something better and better. But yeah, see how it kind of like makes those cells when you go across the top? I love that, and that's what I was finding, and it took me a number of times in this painting to figure out exactly what I was looking for, but after I found it, I started really fixing it.
So this is really cool. I'm just adding in the gold and the gray in the areas that to make it a little bit more, I don't know, the composition a little bit better. But see how this Amsterdam makes this cell and webbing? It's so cool. Okay, so I haven't torched yet. I'm going to torch it and see what pops up. Okay. So I'm kind of trying to make that one like this one down here. Okay. So I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do my edges, some of them anyway, and yeah, so we'll see what this looks like when it's dried, and then I still plan to do patching over top of it, but we'll see how it looks. The green is too green. Let me get my pillow Well, maybe not so much. We'll see. All right. Thanks for joining me. I'll show you later what it's going to look like.
Bye.
Okay, so I always forget to show you when it's wet, but here is it wet, and I'm putting it in its drying spot there. All right, I'll show you the next step later on.
Thanks for watching, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that way you can get notified when I have a new video up. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.